Two veteran quarterbacks looking for a return to the playoffs.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Go.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Stocker's got it. Complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2, and finding the tight end Hooper. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
On first down, it's Gurley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and inches, Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're just going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here on this first series. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. On 2nd and a couple. Wentz. This will be caught at about the 5. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Here's the second year back from Southern Miss, Ito Smith. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Here now, the offensive starters for Atlanta.
Obviously a tough test for this offense right out of the gate. Road game in game 1 of the new year. Conventional wisdom says, go slow, take care of the football. I think in this case, attack early and get the home team back on their heels.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
4th down, and out comes the Falcon kicker, Giorgio Tavecchio. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts out a nice performance.
Now Cousins toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
And last night we were discussing some of the changes they've made offensively during the offseason, and we know it helps for them to have the first game at home. Hopefully this crowd, which we saw coming in, they've been here for a while, ready to go. You and I should have joined the tailgates, that's for sure. They're going to give them plenty of encouragement. They'll try and ride that wave and get their first victory of the year.
And they get it down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit, because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Two running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the gun, here's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. A reminder, coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And he whips that one incomplete there. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that will be incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
The first down run with Gurley, good for only about 3. It's 2nd down now. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop. From the 24, Wentz, and it's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Wentz now to throw, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, 2nd and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown.
They can't stop you, sir.
A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons push further out in front. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
On for the extra point, Giorgio Tavecchio. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive, 4 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Cousins now from the 50. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Tavecchio to add the PAT. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots, now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Throwing again on second down. Cousins. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. To throw is Cousins. It's complete to Laquan Treadwell. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Let's go! Let's go!
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 19. Again, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. On play action, Cousins.
Check, 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 check.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Bailey got the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We begin up in Charlotte, where the defending NFC champs pay a visit to Carolina. And it's the Rams who are out in front in that one. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. 28-10, the final. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. LaShawn McCoy has run for a touchdown there. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Meanwhile, the second quarter score from Carolina. It's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. Jared Goff with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
To throw again on second down. Cousins, and Diggs has it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. These two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. And the Vikings winning 19 of those games, but maybe the most memorable game between the two was a Falcons victory. That was in the NFC Championship game back in January of '99. Gary Anderson missed a field goal to potentially win it at the end of regulation, and then the Falcons would get the victory in OT 30-27, and they were off to the Super Bowl. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now.
Here we go.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. On the toss, it's Gurley. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Stephen Weatherly able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up fourth down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at about the 28. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Play action now. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. Throwing, Cousins. And that's caught by Smith. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Well, they convert on third with a gain of 22.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Running for it. Here's Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now Wentz. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Wentz going to throw. This is caught. It's Julian Edelman. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Gurley again here on first down. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run. It's Gurley. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 25-yard line.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is Week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football,
Yeah.
where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So So for Atlanta, it was a hard-fought game, and they'll exit 1-0 as they win by a touchdown. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers.